Hello world. I am going to be reading a Reddit post and answering. The title of this one is, what are some things to look for or avoid when choosing a preschool or a daycare? But it actually says preschool/daycare shopping. Hello all. We are starting to look for preschool for our kid. I think she would benefit from socializations for 2 to 3 days a week. Personally, let's sidetrack for a sec. What I've learned is part-time care. I'm not a fan of providing part-time care to parents because, truthfully speaking, there's 7 days in a week. If you bring your child 2 days a week to my daycare, it's like the weekend, over and over and over and over and over. What do I mean by that? A lot of times, children enter a daycare, they have to, if they haven't been from a different daycare, they have to learn how to become acclimated to our system. Meaning, I actually have to teach some children not to stand on furniture, or I may have to teach some children to come to carpet or to share, or no running inside unless they haven't been outside. Then I'll kind of throw that rule out the window. How to eat at the table, because a lot of kids don't eat at the table. So having a child 2 to 3 times a week is, for me, is just constantly reprogramming. But I digress. We had a tour today, and there were several reasons I got a no so good vibe from the place. For me, if you walk in and you get a not so good vibe from my place of establishment, don't come back, don't force yourself, don't second guess it, because for me, there is really, I've been through it, there's really nothing I can do or say to change your mind. You already had it set that you wanted XYZ. And I always under promise and over deliver. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what all we're going to do. One thing that I know for sure is that home daycare providers are up against centers in a way that everyone thinks. A lot of times people think that a childcare center is better, a daycare center is better than a home daycare. So if you walk in and you're like, keep going, because I hate to try to continuously prove to you my worth. If you don't get my worth, you're going to have a problem with paying me for my vacation, and I deserve that. Let me get it. But it is our first time touring a place. Since you guys are in business, you must have an idea of what to look out for. I don't know if I'm being a helicopter parent, and just overall, yep, if you're a helicopter parent, you pick it, and I ain't. Not me, girl. Find another teacher. That does not go to say that your child won't be protected or loved and taught, but don't expect out of me what you're not going to do yourself. Okay? I don't know if I'm said that. The teacher who gave us a tour and all the other teachers except one, there were some things that rubbed me the wrong way. They did not engage our kid at all. Honestly, that is a skill that I had to learn to do, because essentially the tour is should be all about the kid, but you have this parent who's asking you so many questions, and you're trying to show the value of your center. And don't forget this, at the same time, in a home daycare, I'm trying to give you a tour, show your child interest, and my class didn't sit down and just all of a sudden disappear or anything like that because you walked in. So knowing to engage that child is a skill. I'll just say, your child can play. Let them feel free to play so they can, since this is their first time here, and it'll probably be, is this their first time here with you? If you choose to go with us, I would like it to be somewhat familiar. But while we're saying that some people don't even acknowledge a child, how about some parents don't even bring the kid? You having a daycare tour for your child and you're not going to bring your kid? You just want to enroll him Monday? What? Okay. Anyway, the teacher who gave us the tour and all of step one did not engage our child at all. Instead, they were focused on speaking with me and my husband only. I expected them to interact with her, even just a hello. What's your name? They smiled and said things like, oh, how cute, but zero attempt to speak with her directly. And that's just too, like, your kid, it's like, y'all, people have to remember that kids are not the easiest, okay? So if I speak to your child but yeah, yet and still, providers, be sure to speak to the children. Say at least, like this parent says, say hello. The kids did not seem too happy. That's a sign for you to leave. You don't have your hints. There was one kid sitting on the ground crying, covered in snot, and the teacher made no attempt to console or anything. And this is a hard business because you're walking in and you don't know that for sure. And you don't know that child's temperament. It's a lot you don't know. That's why this job is so hard, because you have everybody who makes assumptions. A kid covered in snot. Okay, maybe they should be at home because they sick. Another thing that parent could have taken for granted is, as a preschool teacher, when my kiddos have runny noses or are sick, I literally wipe noses probably every 3 minutes. Somebody needs their nose wiped. So it's like wipe nose, wash hands, wipe nose, wash hands, wipe this. It's just a repeating cycle that happens like, oh my gosh, I just wiped your nose. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that teacher held that kid and talked to that kid. And for me, if I'm doing a tour and there's a kid crying, I'm probably gonna come back to that kid sometime during your visit, because it's only so long before I allow that child to cry on their own. Because sometimes kids need their space, so I'll give them their moment. But I will come back and be like, "Are you okay? Do you need me? Don't forget I'm here." And offer them certain things. And then, like I said too, we have a community where my children in my classroom, somebody would have, are you okay? Somebody would have checked on that kid. We might have just walked in on a not so great morning though, right? It is hard to tell with toddlers, but you judge, so whatever. When I asked the teacher what a typical day looks like and what kid activities do they do, see, and it's that stuff like that gets me. What a typical day look like. It look like preschool. What you mean? But let me enlighten you. It's your first experience. I'll let you know, what the day looks like. And they should be able to answer for sure with a list of things that they do throughout the day, their meals, their potty training, their games they play, what educational activities look like. Help the parents understand that play is learning in preschool, so they do a lot of playing. Also, there should be a schedule posted, and for daycare owners, if you have that schedule posted, a question like that is easier to answer. We have Bible study once a week. We read every day, several times a day. There's also things like Play-Doh or shaving cream that children use to make letters. The list goes on and on and on. The answer was a bit vague, along the lines of, we do a lot of learning activities. We learn about alphabet, colors, and emotions. It didn't quite answer my question. They open for the day at 6 a.m. and you can drop off and pick up anytime between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. In my mind, this is a daycare, not preschool. Convenient for the parent who has had to rush to work in the AM and does not need to rush back for pickup. Not what I'm looking for my kid. 13 hours a day, you are given 8 to 9 hours a week, simply because parents will leave their child in school for 13 hours if you let them. And some parents, not all parents. I know me personally, I wanted my baby. The difference between preschool and, because the parents said, in my mind, this is a daycare, not preschool. Daycare, preschool, they pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I said it. It's the title. People hear preschool and they really feel like they're getting something different than a daycare. To be 100% thorough on the definition of a preschool versus daycare, it is, according to, let's get a credible source, Wonder School, which is actually an app that I use for daycare. Preschool and daycare or childcare can be used interchangeably among parents, but this is actually incorrect. Oh, I learned something. While both offer great advantages, it is important to understand to find out what suits your child. What are kids that attend daycare or childcare programs? Childcare programs typically accept children in the age of 6 weeks and older. Preschool is typically 2 to 5 years of age to attend preschool. That doesn't make a difference because you can still attend a daycare if you're 2 to 5. In preschool programming, learning pre-academic skills is the main objective. It could be the same main objective for your daycare, with the program focusing on educational needs of the children in order to prepare them for development in the years to follow. Same for daycare. I'm not seeing much difference. It's if you think of it in a way, it's preschool is before the school, and daycare is, I guess, what they consider a glorified babysitter. The pre-K room was bare looking. Few books, few toys, all looked worn out. I looked around and did not see materials for arts and crafts, etc. Walls were bare. My walls are not bare, but I refuse to make myself dizzy looking at a bunch of art to please a parent that's torn because they're judging me. Make sure you hang up all that stuff when I send it home with you. Most of the staff look like they graduated yesterday. They look young. It's usually younger people who take the preschool jobs or older. So I know it's hard to tell people ages, but not even one veteran-looking staff member was there. In my mind, this might be a high turnover staff, or they cutting costs, not sure. Online reviews are mixed. Some love it, some not so much. I like that their lunches are catered, and they have an app they use throughout the day to keep me in the loop. Anyways, my husband thinks I am ridiculous, and we should place her for 2 days a week and see how it goes. Preschools around our area have wait lists, but I want to keep looking around. What are some things we should be looking for in a good daycare facility? And what questions would you ask and look for if this was your child? Thank you. And some things you should be looking for is, are they taking care of your child? Is your child clean? Do they have good communication when it comes to their school day? Do the teachers have prior experience? And if so, how long? What credentials do the teachers need to work in said daycare? While parents look and have a list of things that they want to know when enrolling into a daycare, I myself have a list of things that I want to know when you are choosing to enroll in our daycare. Are we going to be a good fit? Parents sometimes think that you are
obligated.
their children. And that's not, if that's the case, good luck with that, but that's definitely not the case here. We like to try to vet out our parents. I did have a moment when I first opened where I would take just about anyone, and then I had to learn there's a certain type of kid that I need in my center because we provide exceptional care and we need parents and the children alike to all be on the same page. So when looking for a daycare, for sure follow your intuition. Take into account what health and safety measures does that center take? Is it clean? Is it welcoming? Um, is are they big on parent communication and parent involvement? And what is their education, their center's philosophy on education? Me personally, I provide a parent handbook that has so much information about our daycare that there's no way you can be confused about what you're going to get in our center. So through that and word of mouth, parents are usually able to find us, and we are usually able to find if there are parents that will fit in our center. Overall, I'll say it like I said it before. If you have a bad feeling about a daycare, don't take your child there. But do keep in mind that
Choosing a daycare may be pretty tricky, but don't count the daycare out based on books in the library looking tattered or torn, because personally here at my daycare, I'm not putting my brand new nice books up on the bookshelf at this time because I have a new group of kids and I have to teach them all how to treat the books. So if you walk into my center and you see the books and you're like, those look old, well, we actually have quite a few brand new books that I prefer not to get destroyed, so they're not on the bookshelf. Or the bookshelf could be completely empty because children are skating on the books. So, little things like that, I advise you not to count the daycare out based on those things, but do follow your gut.
childcare is not an easy profession. Overall, good luck with your search. I hope that helped you decide on how to choose a daycare for your child. Don't forget to like, comment on how you choose your daycare or vet your students for your daycare. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Sharon is Karen. Have a good day. Bye for now.